Welcome back in, everyone, to EA Sports coverage of the NFL. We're in quarter number 2, and it's the Rams in possession of the football. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We get started up at the Link, San Francisco, with 2 road games to start the year, taking on Philadelphia in their home opener under Nick Sirianni. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Trey Sermon with a touchdown run. From there, we head down to the Sunshine State to check on the Jaguars at home in Jacksonville. And they trail the visiting Denver Broncos in that one. K.J. Hamler, a touchdown reception. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Pats trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. So here are the Rams to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Now Stafford. Into the secondary, past the 40. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Rams come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On first down, Wentz. Being chased out left. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 44, Wentz He'll check this one down to Taylor. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down. That's exactly what he did.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Shotgun now for Wentz. Taken in by the tight end Doyle. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Wentz. And he'll find Pittman. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Working from the gun, Wentz. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down. Wentz going to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Doyle. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down.
That's the type of run that Jonathan Taylor gives you so often, and you just can't take it for granted. He finds a way to get those extra yards. The 3rd running back taken in the 2020 draft, but he had the best numbers by far of any of them. 1,169 yards, 3rd most in the NFL, and by the last quarter of the season, he ranked among the best runners in the league.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. From the red zone now, Wentz. This goes out right to Doyle. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Colts are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Carson Wentz had Zach Ertz and later Dallas Goedert during his time in Philadelphia as excellent tight ends. But I think he'll grow to like Jack Doyle as well with the Colts. That connection there gives them a first down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll look to run with Taylor, and he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Here's Taylor again. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
3rd and goal. This L.A. Rams defense will try to bow up once more. Taylor. And this time he is in. Jonathan Taylor, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Jackson now to return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Stafford on 1st down. A quick pass to Kupp. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. Touchdown, L.A. Cooper Kupp, 48 yards. And the Rams are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone. This guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Wentz now on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen to Hines. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. From the gun, it's Wentz. And Pascal's got it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
7 yards, the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing now is Wentz. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Leonard Floyd. And the Rams will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. Throwing on third down, Stafford. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
Here we go on fourth. Stafford. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 30 yards.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout. And actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up four fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours. And they certainly weren't kidding.
Throwing here, Stafford going up top for Cup. Touchdown, Rams. Cooper Kupp, 39 yards. And the Rams are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule, because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wentz now to throw. And this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wentz to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And Wentz is intercepted yet again. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. Oh, some strong running. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Peterson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for L.A., it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
You have grades for each. Browse available players to improve your team.
Today, from SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, it's Week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. We get a peek at Tom Brady as he brings out this Tampa Bay offense. And Tom Brady in his 22nd season overall and his second in Tampa Bay.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The numbers for Jones last week, 24 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
Brady's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Well, it's a question that's been asked over and over and over, but CD, I'll pose it to you anyway. What do you have to do defensively to stop Tom Brady?
It's one of the great questions in the NFL, and there are a ton of defensive coaches who are retired at this point because they tried to stop Tom Brady and couldn't get it done. You've got to have excellent defenders, guys who can stick to their men like glue, because he's so good at finding those open receivers and then putting the ball into tight windows and completing passes downfield.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. On 2nd and 9, Brady. This one swung out here to Jones. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 35.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald. That is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way he wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Quarterback Matthew Stafford bringing out the L.A. offense. And Stafford, of course, all those years in Detroit. And now in his first season with Los Angeles.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick? But I'm betting they continues the streak in this game.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They run again on 1st down. Peterson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Well, this defense for the Bucs, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field.
Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
They snap it to Stafford. That went a little too high as it's knocked away and incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And that will force a turnover on downs. Now a first down carry by Jones. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We're scoreless after 1. And Suckup will put this one right through, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
On first down, it's Stafford. Going up top for Kupp. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. On 2nd and 10. Stafford. They'll set up the screen here to Akers. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big play there on the screen pass. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Airing it out deep for Woods. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, after the success they had on the second play of the drive, I think they were trying to recreate it with that pass, weren't they?
Yeah, they were trying to go a little tic-tac-toe, 3 plays and in the end zone.
I like that. Can I just put the X in the middle of the block as the defense just did there?
Sure. Oh, that one sailed a bit, but the catch is still made. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 15-yard line. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big gain there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for him after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Again, it's Stafford. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now Stafford. Quick slant here to Woods. Touchdown! Robert Woods. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Rams have taken the lead. Matt Gay on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, it's Brady. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Here's Bradley Pinion now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. The quick feet by Jackson. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. So here are the Rams to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They give it to Peterson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Handoff comes to Peterson. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. Two minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. Touchdown, Rams! Robert Woods, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Rams add on to their lead. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Brady. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. On third down, here's Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's fourth down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. To throw is Stafford. And now he'll turn, and off his back foot, he'll heave this deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
From just shy of midfield, Brady. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the gun, it's Brady. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Sebastian Joseph Day gets in there to drop him for a loss of 13 yards, and it's also fourth down now. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And we will skip the highlights show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. 3 yards remain for second down. Peterson. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Meanwhile, Stafford's throw taken in here by Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Deshaun Jackson is now with his 4th franchise in his 14th NFL season, but this one, a homecoming a little bit. He grew up in Long Beach, so playing for the Rams seems like a natural. Picks up a first down with that catch there.
On first down, Stafford here. That's caught by Jackson. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. Now it's Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Tyler Higbee just keeps getting better and better as a receiver. Makes a nice grab there for a first down. In his 6th season now, all with the Rams, 6'6", 255. And we saw Matthew Stafford like working with T.J. Hockenson the last couple of years. He's going to love working with Tyler Higbee.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Throwing again is Stafford toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
When you run into slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Robert Woods, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Rams take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Here's Gay now to add the extra point. And it's 21-3. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Brady. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Rams as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 59 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Here's Peterson. Able to push his way through. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Back now here on EA Sports. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Adrian Peterson. His second touchdown on the season. And the Rams are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point by Gain is up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On 1st down, Brady. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone.
Oh, he can't get away, and Brady will go down. Aaron Donald getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. To try again after the sack. Brady, this one complete to Scott Miller. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Brady. His hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by David Long. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring it back. It's an interception return for a Rams touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's Brady to throw. And the Rams got him. They bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. I think they're just a product of trying to buy themselves 5 extra yards.
Yeah, they want to help their punter out, right? Help with the angle, trying to pin the ball deep. That's exactly what they did there.
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Stafford going to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jackson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
1st down, here's a run with Peterson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A final score now from Denver. And give that one to the Broncos as they wind up winners. Teddy Bridgewater, 2 touchdown passes in the W. Brady now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Miller. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Los Angeles, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.